Good morning. I'm going to share with you this morning my realist experience of the law of attraction. This morning I am heading towards my friend's father's funeral, and it has brought a story to the forefront of my mind that I actually haven't thought about for a while, and I'm going to share that with you all this morning. And it involves 2 coins. I'm going to get my daily dose of pastry, caffeine, get the brain into gear, and I will share this story with you all. This story starts at the beginning of the September that my father passed away. He passed away on the 20th of September, and I used to travel up. We were living in Enfield at the time. I used to travel up via the motorway every morning, or a toll bridge that we had to go through. And I remember one Monday morning, as we were approaching this toll bridge, I remember pulling a load of change out of my pocket, and €1 in particular stood out to me. There was particular markings on the back of it that it was a commemoration coin. I'd never seen it before, and something just made me stick it in my wallet. I don't know why. I've never done anything like that before. I wouldn't normally be attracted to coins or coin collecting or anything like that, but this stood out to me, this coin, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep that. I remember saying to Neve at the time, look at that coin, and I remember her looking at me as if to say, what about it? It's only a €2. Anyway, I never thought any more about the coin. It was later in the September then that somebody reached out to me and said, listen, your father is in hospital, he's not well, he's sick. To which I phoned my dad and said, you know, what's going on? And he said, look, I'm not well. And I says, okay, look, I'll come and see you. For the next 2 weeks or whatever, I spent a lot of time with my dad. He never let on actually how bad he was. He never told us. The doctors never told us. They must have been his wishes. But like, I was bringing him up. Now, he had stomach cancer at the time. Again, I didn't know how bad it was, but I remember thinking I was bringing him up all sorts of health and fitness foods and really trying to push him and try and get him back on the mend. But 14 days after my first visit, he will have passed away. Over this time, you know, we had an awful lot of chats. We talked about the past and, you know, what had gone on and this, that and the other. And I suppose I tried to be there for him as much as I could. He wanted to die alone. He didn't want anybody knowing that he'd passed. That's just the type of guy that he was. But really subconsciously, deep down, I'd say his body was yearning for people, for loved ones to be around you. As you would, you were scared, you're fragile, you're at your most vulnerable right before death. Even though he was saying, I don't want to see anybody, subconsciously his mind, the law of attraction, would have been pulling people towards him. That's what he really wanted in his final days. After he first made contact with me, I made contact then with my aunties and other family, and within hours he was surrounded by people. And I think this really picked him up. It gave him that, you know, what he wanted. It pushed him on. You could see it kind of spring in his step. He reacted to it. It gave him another 2 weeks of life. The doctor said he didn't have long left to live after I first arrived. It worked, whatever it was. Coming to the final day where he's dying, then he's in the bed, he's hanging on tirelessly for my brother to fly in from Liverpool. In the end, my brother missed him by 15 minutes. There'd been a big crash on the M50 and that had delayed him, and he missed my father's final moments. Shortly after my father passing, they cleared out the room, and when you go back into the room, it doesn't feel like a hospital room. It actually felt like, I don't know, it was just real peaceful, the way they had it set out. I'll never forget that experience. We spent a half an hour, 40 minutes with my dad then, and family members came in and this, that and the other. But right before I was leaving, one of the nurses came to me. She said, Dave, will you do me one favour? And I said, what is it? She said, all your dad's stuff is in the hospital room, just in the bathroom in there. You wouldn't mind just taking it all with you tonight, would you? I said, absolutely no problem. At this stage, there was only me and Neve left in the room. And I remember opening the bathroom door, and on there was the hospital tray, the tray that slides back and forward from the bed. And on it was just his glasses case. Now, he died with his glasses on him. Now, I don't know why that was the first thing I put my hand on and opened, but that's exactly what I did. Reached for the glasses case, I opened it, and when I did open it, the exact same €2 was sitting in the glasses case. And I remember the room filling up with electricity, and it was a sign to say thank you for the last couple of weeks and everything you've done. And it really drove home the law of attraction to me. It was like I got a glimpse behind the curtain. I still have the 2 coins together. They're somewhere safe, and I keep meaning to get the 2 of them framed. But that's the story of the 2 coins and my real interaction with the law of attraction. This was another episode of my life that really raised my belief system and drove me on to say, you can have whatever you want in life. If you want it enough, you can pull it towards you. So I just thought I would share that story with you all this morning, just as I go to my friend's father's funeral. It's just a story I wanted to share. It's Saturday, it's still raining. Whatever you're at, whatever you're doing, chill out this weekend. Embrace your family, love your loved ones. I'll catch you all later.